No one wants to get stuck playing the same thing over and over again. Today I'm gonna give you a solution to the problem. I don't know if you're gonna like it, but bear with me. Most guitar players, they get stuck into this twilight zone, that is a pentatonic boxes zone, and they don't seem to find a way out of there. They know something is not clicking and they push for more speed, for more technique, for more repetitions. But then at the end, they just feel frustrated, they feel bored, they just feel it's not for them. Today I will share with you a solution to get out of there and find out that actually it is possible. You were just doing it wrong. My name is Ricardo. I'm a guitar player, improviser, and composer. I've been teaching guitar players and performer for the last 10 years. In this video, I'm gonna share with you 3 things. Number 1, how scale playing is keeping you stuck. Number 2, how not having a system for practicing is slowing you down massively. And number 3, the solution to the problem and how to get out of there. So let's get started. Alrighty, let's go with number 1. So why keep repeating scales is killing your game when it comes to improvising? Well, scale is minimum a 7-note group that you're just taking as it is and just going up and down multiple times without really understanding the direction of the single notes, without creating any lines and so on. If this sounds familiar, this is what I was doing for a long time. All the variations of that, just going up and down, up and down. The problem is when you do that, what you're not considering is the meaning of every single sound that you're playing. Sounds in a scale, they do have context, but they do have priority, they do have direction as well. And so let's talk about that very quickly. So right now I'm playing an A major. Now, including the scale, there are multiple things. There's obviously roots. In this position, I have 3 A's. I have thirds, and a third up here, and I have fifth. Right? Those sounds are part of the fundamental triad in that specific position. So those notes are obviously more important, more in, we could say, than the other notes. So if I land on them, that's a safe spot to land, for example. If I start visualizing that when I play a line, and I always land on notes of the triad, I will get this sense of tension, phrase, and landing somewhere. If I land on these sounds, for example, this is a 9th, is slightly more interesting, right? I'm not saying don't do it, but at the beginning, have this strong foundation of what are the important sounds of the scale. So number 1 tip is, instead of just seeing the scale as very big line going up and down, trying to give the scale a context inside the key you're playing. So if I'm playing A, and create lines with the scale, landing on the important notes of the scale. That's like doing a backflip, but landing on your feet every single time. The second part of this is give your practice a context. When it comes to scale, for example, you can create a chord progression, even a very easy one, and try to improvise with the sound of the chords in your head. So what I mean by that is something like this. Third. Root. Root. So I'm giving that example as I have a chord progression that was A on C sharp, D and E, so just a 1, 4, 5 basically in the key of A, and just playing fragment of the scale and understanding, okay, when I play these, I have this amount of space and then I'm landing on one of the notes of the scale. I hope that makes sense. That was my point number one. The point number two was not having a systematic practice routine might kill your progress long term and short term as well. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when we set up our goal for something like this, like I want to be able to improvise on major scale, that's such a big goal that a lot of times we get frustrated and we just get overwhelmed really, because what is that really? Like improvising on major scale, that's a lot. So what I think is best doing in those kind of situations is actually breaking down the goal into smaller goals that go from zero or from where you're at all the way until what you think you should get. Because also you will find out that, you know, the more you progress, the more the goals might change as well. So what I mean by that is big goal, improvising with major scale. Okay, what do I need for that? Well, one, I need to know what a major scale is, right? Major scale is 7 notes, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, can I go one step deeper than that? Yes. What are the notes that are foundation of the scale? We're talking about it in point number one. Triads. Okay, let me start from triads. When I know the triads, that's my first goal, then I can build on top of the triads. I can add some notes. For example, like I was talking about in another video that I'm gonna put the link in the description, I can add the 6 to the major scale. And then I can start adding the 2, and then maybe the 4, and so on. In every single practice that I have, I'm adding one note, and by the end, I actually have the major scale, but coming from a more solid foundation. And a solid foundation is obviously having known all the notes, how they sound like, how they connect with each other. When I do know the major scale, I need to apply the major scale to something. So let me find 3, 4, 5 chord progressions where I can actually apply major scale and try to improvise, creating small solos and small phrasing. Last but not least is find solos that use major scale in the way you want to use it. Find guitar players that they play it in the way you want and try to learn that vocabulary. Because one thing is understanding the grammar, triads, the major scale and so on, and one thing is actually being creative with it. And a lot of times I think we get stuck into this process of, well, now I know the triads, I know the major scale, I should be able to actually improvise. But guys, does it work like that when you learn any language really? When you learn a language, yes, you gotta learn enough grammar to understand something, but then what do? You watch movies, you read your favorite books, you watch videos online, you watch interviews, and you pick up the way people say things, you pick up accents, you pick up the rhythm of the language. And when you know enough, then it's when you try and you're like, oh, yesterday I've heard this word in a sentence, let me try to use it in. So don't approach music in another way, or improvisation especially in another way, because that's what it takes. And now to my last point of this video that I promised, how to get you out of that cage, of that routine that is always the same. So either it's pentatonic, either it's major scale what you're practicing. This is my biggest point and suggestion to bring home from today's video. When you want to learn something in a creative way and you want to use that something in a creative way, the best way to do it is to create a context for it. Because a goal like, I want to improvise with major scale or pentatonic, whatever it is, it's just too big. We were talking about it in the first part of the video. So what I'm suggesting is actually this. Pick up a scale. Let's say you want to learn pentatonic. When is pentatonic most commonly used? Well, you can start improvising on a blues progression, like a... So first off, I need to understand the harmonic context. All right, what are the chords of the blues? Great, 1, 4, 5 in this specific order. And then what do? I go and I find at least 3 or 4 great guitar players that play the blues. I don't want you to transcribe them. I don't want you to get and play a solo beginning to end. I want you to pick up stuff, meaning you're listening to a solo by B.B. King and you just hear something like just pick that little phrase. What is it? This is not B.B. King. guys, by the way. I don't know. I'm just playing something, but let's say that's what you heard, right? You're like, okay, pick that, 3 seconds, transcribe it. Great, that's my practice now, because I know this note is A minor pentatonic. Repeat it. Pentatonic, pentatonic. This note here you might not recognize, but it's a third of the triad. And then I have the root. Great, so this becomes my practice. See how deep can I go? Now I can pick this phrase and understand, okay, so he's mixing pentatonic and major triad. Cool, this is my practice. If I know A triad and minor pentatonic in this position, I can create 4 or 5 licks related to the specific type of use of the pentatonic. Just one note addition to what you already know, and here you have thousands of possibilities to use the specific sound. So see that now practice became creative. Why? Because instead of starting from very stale and very like flat things that are scales, you started from music. And I'm not here sitting and saying that practice is always fun every single day, but you can make it fun. You can make it fun by exploring what is interesting or exploring what is not interesting yet with interest, if that makes sense. So I hope this video was helpful. So we talked about 1, how to get out of just linear practice for scale and give you the context with triads and chord progressions. 2nd, how to systematically practice. And 3rd, how to make your practice more fun and interesting so you can go the long term and have fun and develop your own language. So by default, you will be original. I hope this video helped. If you want more videos like this, let me know. I'm always happy to record, and have a great practice.